Hey everybody, we were live here on Change Our Mind, and we just had to do topics. And this one, I've been wanting to do a story in this one, and I thought, oh, we'll just tease it, talk about it. But the more I look at it, the just more frustrated I get. And I got to be careful. I got to speak a little bit in code when I talk about this topic because YouTube doesn't want me to talk about this topic. Because the reason I'm upset with the film Cuties, which I'm not going to say again because I can't, if you say certain things over and over again, YouTube slaps you. But the reason I'm upset with this movie is because of what's in it. And not from a censorship point. It's not about censoring art. It's about the filmmakers using performers to do things to glorify that said thing is bad. That's my problem with this movie. And so Netflix's CEO, the head of Netflix, came out with this statement. I'm here with Lewis. Hey, Lewis. Welcome. Join me.
What's up?
Lewis, pardon my rant as we get through this. But the Netflix CEO... Ted Sarandos, who's like the big cheese, one of the big cheese. He's the co-CEO, but Ted Sarandos is a big cheese of Netflix. He is defending Cuties as misunderstood, Lewis. Now, for those of you who haven't seen my take on Cuties, you can go, I'll put it in the top left corner up. It'll be over here. It'll be up that corner. Whoop. Go check it up there. I'll relink it. But again, my problem with the movie isn't that, it's not about censorship. It's about we shouldn't show 11-year-old people doing certain things. You know what I mean? That's my problem with this movie. There's ways you can show it through CGI interpretation, through stand-ins, through more clever camera work, through a better director who doesn't have to just see how bad this is, guys. Look at it. Oh, yeah, look. Here it is, guys. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah! Check it out! Oh, yeah! Oh, wait! Oh, yeah! I mean, I can't show you the movie, so I'll disgust you by showing myself. That's what the movie does! Lewis, it's horrific! That's not censoring! That's being a rational person who knows that's not okay! So Ted Sarandos, the head of Netflix, well, he decided the film's just misunderstood, guys. It's just misunderstood. The film speaks for itself. I mean, guys, it's a personal coming-of-age film. It's the director's story. And the film obviously played well at Sundance with those elites, you know? It played well at Sundance without any of this controversy. And it played in theaters throughout Europe. So Europeans, you know, they can handle it, Lewis. They didn't have to have any controversy with this. They didn't have any problem with it, you know? And then he goes on and says the next statement, which just blows my mind. It's a little surprising that in 2020 America, we're having a discussion about censoring storytellers. Cuties follows the story of an 11-year-old Muslim girl living in Paris who joins a dance crew. As you can see, I can't talk about what the film does, but Senator Ted Cruz and a lot of lawmakers have called the Department of Justice to investigate, and Netflix has now been indicted. A grand jury has deemed that there's enough evidence for this film to be actually go through trial. Now, here's the cast of the film. And look, I'm not here to hate on this cast. I don't think this cast is capable to make the decision to commit themselves to celluloid the way that this filmmaker decided to do. I don't think these actors, again, it's not the word I want to use, but I got to be careful because I'm on YouTube. These actors, who to me aren't really old enough to be actors yet, don't have the wherewithal at that age to know what they're doing. It is up to guardians, to adults, to know what's right and what's wrong. And to me, that's the problem with this film. It's about just obviously being like, this isn't censorship. This is about doing what's right and what's right. This is about not glorifying certain parts and images and things. Do I need to do the dance again, Lewis, to get this point across?
No, please send in your super chats, whatever you have to do. God, please do whatever. Become a member. Just don't have them do that again.
Oh my God! It's unbelievable to me that it's unbelievable, Ted, that in 2020 we are now defending this kind of movie. Look, I understand the other thing that Lewis, I'll get your comments, but I'm going off on this rant. But it's like what the biggest frustration to me when I see critics of this film are it's her story, it's a director's story. Okay, that still doesn't mean that that's appropriate. Still doesn't make it appropriate. So adult stories you can just put whatever actors you want, any actors you want to tell adult stories now, because that's what it's her story. Okay, that still doesn't justify it to me. And then on top of that, the other excuse is always, yeah, but what about dance moms? What about all the pageants? Yeah, what about them? How about we cut them all out? I agree. If they're doing the same thing this is doing, you are correct. Let's point it all out and start shining a light on it, because guys, there's a line. There are lines in the world that we need to protect, and certain groups of people we need to protect. That and this movie, I don't think did it. And I'm sure there's people who will disagree. I am vehemently against what this film shows, and as I reportrayed it, it's too much. There's no need for it. There was no need. It was, to me, lazy filmmaking. Lazy filmmaking because the director didn't know how to do it in a more stylized or artistic or subtle way that was like, oh man, that still hit me. No, she had to literally rub it in our faces multiple times, not just the ending. There's a scene near the movie where she's crying to her mom and her grandmother. That, to me, was just as disturbing, if not worse, than the finale. There were plenty of parts throughout the whole movie where I thought, why do they need these people to do it, to get this guy? And why did we need this movie to tell us that this is wrong? Lewis, any thoughts you would care to add here?
Well, first of all, that dance horrified me. If I haven't seen the movie, I'm terrified just if that's what it looks like. Second of all, I think your camera is aiming up to the ceiling. I don't know if you're doing that on purpose.
Oh, no, that's just your camera. Yeah, there you go.
Or your camera dares not to go lower anymore. And I hate those pageants, come to think about it, where they make up the little girls and boys to look like adults. Let them be kids. You do have a big point for directors. The most effective directing, you see it in horror movies too, when they don't show the killings is most effective because your imagination could run wild. So you didn't have to really, you see an example of that in Psycho and Halloween, right? The originals. So yes, there's a clever way to, you hit the nail on the head. You could do the stuff more cleverly without, having the explicit scenes in your film.
Yeah, careful what words you use.
Yeah. So the thing is, you get what I'm saying? So like, if your imagination, nothing could top that. So if you could have turned away maybe.
Correct.
And stuff like that.
The reactions from the crowd, right? The sort of behind, like, what are they doing? Oh my, what? And then use some stunt. Mm-hmm. There were ways to do it and not censor the art, but just do it legally. I like to do it the right way where you're not actually putting actors in a place that they might regret later because they're not.
And then the Sundance, everyone liked it at Sundance. Was that where he said?
Yeah, it's like.
Well, those were the same people saying that Joker was going to cause violence in theaters.
Yes.
And then my last thing is I really disagree with the putting the entire America in a box. Call me a right-wing kook if you want. I don't care anymore. I'm in California, but check it out, dude. We could be saying the same thing about Europe. Well, we're not. We're not saying, hey, I can't believe French films allow that.
Correct. Good job. You're right. It's not about. I'm not here condemning Europeans. I haven't done that once.
No reason to do that.
But you're right. This is what they're doing. I'm surprised that America is censoring storytelling. This is such a spin to try to cover themselves because, let's be honest, they got to cover themselves now. Because they're gonna spend a fortune in trial trying to fight this. And from what I've gathered, I'm trying to get an expert to come help me talk, but I've talked to a couple. Like, there's a case here. There's absolutely a case here because it's like so frustrating. I have to tiptoe around the terms here, but like, does the film entertain certain people? You know what I mean? Does it do anything that might wrong to certain people is really what the question is going to be about. And there's evidence out there that it did. There's evidence. There are reviewers. There's honest reviews out there. There's a lot. There's the fact that they apologized for their marketing. Why did they apologize for the marketing, Lewis? Was there something wrong with the marketing? Because they've admitted that there was. So why was it bad in the marketing but not in the movie? Dude, this is a complicated story that I think a lot of people aren't really taking credit for. And it's just very eye-opening to me. This is where I will absolutely call out liberals and Hollywood, because this is it at its worst. This is, the liberal hypocrisy, and there's conservative hypocrisies too. I've done both sides, but the liberal hypocrisy is shining so brightly here, where it's like, this you're cool with? Like, you are going to tell me you can't redo any movies from the past. We're going to cancel this, cancel that. But this is okay because it's the director's story. And it was okay at Sundance.
When you say America, like, a lot of people that went to Sundance and love that movie, they're American. So you're putting them under the bus as well, just to prove your point. There's no need for that. That's what I haven't seen the film, so
Anyway.
But if it looks like your dance, dude, forget it. I'm done.
Yeah, look, and I've seen people who try to watch something like, I don't need to watch this. And it's like, I understand that the argument is, well, that was the point. The point was to make this conversation happen. But I would challenge, you could have made that point without having to actually do the things you're calling out. It's like, you did it. You are just as guilty as the things you're complaining about, and you don't even realize it. Just because it was the female director's story. Give me a break. Come on. It's my new catchphrase, Lewis. Come on. I need to make a shirt. Come on. It'll be a new, I got to do that as a
emoji.
super emoji. Come on. I'm over it. It's ridiculous. So that's my rant on this. And I saw on another site, there was like a high school or a college. They actually banned a screening of it too, because they're like, no, we're not comfortable with this. Kids decided, you know what, we don't want this. We don't want to show this movie. Why would we show this movie? So look, this isn't just fake outrage and conservatives who just are out of touch. No. I'm not, and I'm upset with this. I'm a parent who watched this and was like, what on earth is this okay? Why are we allowing any of this to be okay? There's a line, and Netflix crossed it to my mind. And look, if they were putting Dance Moms out and someone was clipping me parts of that, I'd say the same thing about that. So this whataboutism is the other thing that's really frustrating about it. What do you guys think of this topic? What do you think? Is Netflix crazy? Is Ted Sarandos correct? Is Cuties misunderstood? I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments. Tell me what you think. Thank you so much for watching. If you missed our stream, always join me Tuesdays and Thursday nights live. So glad Lewis is here. Go support Nerd Report over on YouTube, and subscribe here if you haven't already. If you're watching live, don't go anywhere. We'll be right with you. Thanks for watching, everybody.